Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. This is part 1 of chapter 6. It is titled Behind the Screen, Controlling Your Digital Tongue. And the Bible verse is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 32. If you play the fool and exalt yourself, or if you plan evil, clap your hand over your mouth. All right. I still remember the day I got a Facebook page back in 2007. I am pretty much a foreigner in the land of all things techie, but my kids insisted one day that I just could not be a cool mom unless I had a Facebook page. And so I let them create one for me. Within hours, I had all kinds of requests to be quote-unquote friends with people. Some of them I knew in real life. A few were relatives. Some were even friends from way back in my high school or college days. But there were a few I had never even heard of. I wasn't sure how all of this had happened, and so I asked my kids. It turns out that they checked the box that automatically invited everyone I had ever emailed to be my friend. In addition to friends and family, it also included all the random people I had emailed for one reason or another in the past. Event coordinators from churches where I'd spoken, homeschool moms who were on an email newsletter group for my kids' co-op classes. For crying out loud, there were even people I had emailed from Craigslist because they wanted to buy my nightstand or I wanted to buy their ping pong table. It amazed me that all of a sudden, at the end of my fingertips was a whole new group of people I could talk with every day. And the group was so diverse. Before Facebook, I only occasionally ran into someone from my high school, but now I could hear from them weekly, see what they were doing, and even look at photographs of their children. I was grateful to connect with many of the friends from the Christian college I had attended, and it was a delight for me to see where they all were now. Facebook became a useful tool when connecting with my extended family, especially when coordinating who would bring what to Easter dinner. At first, Facebook was fun, but then one day, as I walked past the den, I heard my daughter hollering at the computer screen. "What? Are you kidding me right now? She is such a liar." I popped my head into the room to inquire about what had upset my daughter so much. She invited me to look at her friend's Facebook page. They were both members of a sports team, and a third girl, also a member, was on her friend's page complaining about the team's coach. The situation revolved around a kerfuffle this student had with the coach. One girl was on the side of the student. The other was on the side of the coach. The comments back and forth became sharper and more concerning. Pretty soon, they were in an all-out Facebook fight, and other members of the team were hopping on to give their 2 cents worth. At one point, a girl even used profanity. I couldn't believe my eyes. I told my daughter to take down any comments she had made during this whole exchange, even though none of hers were inappropriate. I did not think a Facebook page was the place to settle an argument. Instead, the girls needed to talk as a team with their coach present, which is what they finally did at the next practice. This whole age of social media is still slightly foreign to me. It just strikes me as strange that friends can argue online or complete strangers can engage in a hearty debate right there on my blinking screen for all the world to see. Back in my high school days, if we had an issue with someone, we talked to them. Or I guess sometimes we did write a note to a friend. But usually our fights were not a public fireworks display. And don't even get me started on bullying. The worst we had to worry about was a nasty note getting passed around school. Now kids are bullied online to the point of tragic consequences. Although the Bible was written long before the computer age, I am convinced the truths of Scripture that address how we use our words in speech applies equally to how we use our words in cyberspace. In fact, sometimes it's the online words that give us the most trouble. There is just something empowering about saying what you really think while hiding behind a computer screen. Maybe we feel courageous because the person we're addressing isn't physically present. Or perhaps peer pressure and going along with the crowd makes it easy to speak harshly. Whatever it is, I have witnessed many people say things in cyberspace I doubt they would ever say in person. Sometimes the keyboard really does bring out the worst in us. In a little survey I did with over 500 of my blog readers, I discovered some interesting statistics about communicating online. Over half of those in the survey, 52%, admitted saying something online they know they would never have said in person. Almost 15% indicated that they had done this more than a dozen times. And when it came to the question about whether they had seen someone else say something online that they were pretty sure the person would never say to someone's face, 100% of them had witnessed such a scenario. Social media has become a playground for loud opinion slinging. Snark rules the day, and caustic comments are the norm. Even now, as I just grabbed my smartphone and scrolled through my Twitter account, I read comments from 3 different people picking a fight, one making an argument against what a friend had said, and 2 women in an all-out war harassing a 3rd woman for a Bible verse she put up that they think is ridiculous since they do not believe in the existence of God. Shh. Facebook and Twitter are not the only breeding grounds for cutting comments and fight picking. I have seen it on Instagram too. Now, Instagram happens to be my favorite choice of social media. I love seeing pictures my daughter posts, as well as those from friends and family. Somehow I thought that a venue to just share photos would be a safe place with kind comments only. Boy, was I wrong. People are just as likely to flame, post hostile and derisive comments on Instagram as on any other social media outlet. One of my friends also happens to be famous. She has made television shows and movies, and I'm sure if I dropped her name, you would recognize her. But trust me, she is also a lightning rod for negative comments. This friend has an Instagram account. As a Christian in Hollywood, she gets vicious criticism for posting any picture that has to do with God, the Bible, or church. A quick scroll through her dozens, sometimes hundreds of comments reveals many people slamming her for her faith. I've often wondered just why these people follow her on Instagram in the first place if they cannot stomach her or what she stands for. Go figure. At the other end of the spectrum, there are Christians who also slam her, even though she is one of them, when she doesn't practice her faith in the ways that they think she should. One day, she posted a picture of some cute new shoes she was wearing. She wrote something like, "Thanks, name of the shoe brand, for these darling flats. Now I feel like it is summer." A few people made very sweet and encouraging comments about how darling the shoes were, or how happy they were that summer was finally here too. But it just took one brave soul to start a comment chain of criticism. This person had looked up the exact shoes online to find out the price. Then she made a comment telling everyone how much the shoes cost and chastising my friend for buying what she deemed was an excessively expensive pair of shoes when there are starving children in the world and missionaries who need money. Pretty soon other women began piling on like a free-for-all fight in a hockey rink. "How dare you? I could never afford those shoes. Must be nice to be rich." "Seriously? You mean you can't buy shoes at Walmart like the rest of us? Do you know how many starving children you could have fed for that amount of money?" And on it went. What I found interesting and almost a little humorous was that my friend's original comment when she posted the picture revealed that she had gotten the shoes for free. Sure enough, the shoe company had sent her a complimentary pair. She hadn't paid a penny for them. Someone eventually posted this fact in the comment thread, which helped to shut down the Christian critics at least. What I found saddest is that I know my friend gives tons of money to her church and to charities. She is a generous and godly woman who takes a lot of heat for her faith. I'm certain that none of the women who criticized her actually know her in real life. I'm not even sure why they follow her on Instagram, because no matter what she posts, they have something negative to say about it. All of this opinion slinging and fight picking on social media brings to mind more wise words from Proverbs. As charcoal to embers, and as wood to fire, so is a quarrelsome person for kindling strife. Cutting and accusatory comments can fan the flames of debate and argument, inviting others to throw more wood on the fire. The embers smolder and the flickering flames grow higher. Before long, a blaze of strife rages right before our very eyes. When a quarrelsome person publicly vents for all the world to see, it empowers others to also use their digital tongues in a detrimental way. We must be careful to stay away from these destructive fires. All right, I'll end that here for today, and tomorrow we'll go on to part 2 of this chapter. I hope you've all had a very wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!